Most people believe that giving chances is kindness. They believe patience is strength. They believe understanding will eventually change people. But there is a quiet truth almost no one talks about. Some people don't change. They repeat. And the more chances you give, the more clearly they show you who they really are. At first, it feels right to forgive. You tell yourself they didn't mean it. They were stressed, confused, going through something. So you give a second chance. And sometimes, a second chance is wisdom. But what happens after that? The third chance feels different. It feels heavier, quieter, more uncomfortable. Because now, something inside you knows. This is no longer about misunderstanding. This is about pattern. Patterns are louder than promises. Patterns are more honest than apologies. Patterns never lie. Words can be adjusted. Excuses can be refined. Stories can be rewritten. But behavior reveals the truth every single time. There is a moment, small, subtle, when you realize you are no longer giving chances to them. You are betraying yourself. You start explaining their behavior to yourself. You lower your standards without noticing. You move your boundaries back an inch, then another, until one day you look around and don't recognize your own life. People don't repeat the same mistake by accident. They repeat it because it works. It works because you stay, because you forgive, because you hope, because you explain what doesn't need explanation. And slowly, without intending to, you teach them something dangerous. That access to you has no cost. Here is the uncomfortable truth. A person who respects you does not need unlimited chances to prove it. A person who values you adjusts their behavior after the first clear boundary. A person who keeps crossing the same line is not confused. They are comfortable, and comfort creates repetition. Most people don't change after the third chance. They change you. They teach you to doubt your intuition, to ignore the quiet warning signs, to normalize disappointment, to confuse loyalty with self-sacrifice. You don't become stronger by enduring this. You become smaller. There is a reason your body reacts before your mind understands. That tight feeling in your chest, that pause before replying, that hesitation you can't explain. That's not overthinking. That's awareness trying to protect you before logic talks you out of it. You tell yourself, Dush, everyone deserves another chance. But the real question is, at what cost? Your peace, your energy, your time, your self-respect. Because time is not neutral. Time is life. Every moment you spend repeating the same lesson is a moment not spent growing. Every relationship that drains you takes energy away from the ones that could nourish you. There's a difference between compassion and self-abandonment. Compassion understands once. Boundaries remember forever. Giving a third chance often isn't about kindness. It's about fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of conflict. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of ending something familiar. But familiarity is not safety, and history is not a reason to stay. People reveal who they are very early. We just delay believing them. We hope potential will replace behavior. We wait for words to become action. We invest in who they could be instead of who they consistently are. And potential has ruined more lives than reality ever did. Here is the quiet rule that changes everything. If the apology doesn't come with changed behavior, it's not remorse. It's strategy. You don't need to announce your boundaries. You don't need to explain yourself again. You don't need to justify why something hurts you. For the third time, people who care don't need repetition. When someone shows you the same disrespect twice, they are testing. When they do it a third time, they are deciding. And when you allow it again, you are deciding too. Walking away doesn't mean you hate them. It means you love yourself enough to stop negotiating your worth. It means you understand that peace is more valuable than attachment. Some lessons are not meant to be learned slowly. They are meant to be learned deeply. And sometimes the lesson is simple. Not everyone deserves continued access to you. The strongest people are not the ones who endure the most. They are the ones who recognize patterns early and choose themselves without drama, silently, clearly, finally. You don't need closure from people who never respected your boundaries. You don't need understanding from people who benefited from your silence. And you don't need to wait for a fourth lesson. When the third one was already loud enough, life becomes lighter the moment you stop giving endless chances to people who never gave you consistency. And heavier every time you ignore what you already know. So if you're standing at that point right now, wondering whether to give one more chance, ask yourself this: has anything actually changed? Or am I just hoping it will? Because hope without evidence is how patterns survive. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is step back, not to punish, not to prove a point, but to protect the life you are still building. You are not cruel for choosing peace. You are not heartless for choosing distance. You are not wrong for choosing yourself. You are finally listening. And once you listen, you don't need a fourth chance to understand the lesson.